Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Ever since Supreme Court gave their verdict, there have been, a lot of reviews on the judgment. It didn't sit well with some Nigerians, especially some lawyers. But most definitely, most Riverians saw reasons not to complain, even though they felt there was something not right about it. But it looks as if the Amaewhule-led assembly may have a lot more than they can chew, as former judges and other top prominent persons in the judiciary have decided to look into the matter and they are giving their verdict. In fact, they are beginning to agitate on that matter. But before we go into the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, an independent judicial accountability panel, IJAP, consisting of 11 members, including 3 retired justices, has expressed concerns over the Supreme Court's judgment on the prolonged political crisis in Rivers State. Now, according to the news, as at March 14th, Friday, some few hours ago, the panel chaired by retired Justice Mojeed Owade of the Court of Appeal voiced its disapproval on Friday, March 14, 2025, following its inaugural meeting in Abuja. In a statement, the panel expressed worry that the Apex Court's ruling on appeals stemming from legal disputes in Rivers State ventured into unresolved matters. The panel claimed that the judgment left ambiguity regarding whether the alleged defection of 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly had been conclusively addressed. The panel stated, and I quote them word for word, "The Supreme Court's judgment on the consolidated appeals leaves a significant gap concerning the alleged defection issue, as the court commented on the matter without thoroughly addressing it." Now, according to the panel, the Apex Court made remarks about the defection of the lawmakers despite the absence of concrete evidence at the time to determine their continued membership in the assembly. The panel emphasized that the Supreme Court should have refrained from commenting on the issue, considering that pending litigations were still in place. Furthermore, the panel dismissed the likelihood of any party filing an application for judicial review of the judgment, stating the Supreme Court has become functious official concerning this matter. The panel also noted that overly complex and lengthy judgments hinder public comprehension and erode trust in the judiciary. Justice Owade, on behalf of the panel, urged the judicial officers to remain committed to their oath of office and called on political figures to minimize undue influence on the judiciary. He advised politicians to demonstrate greater tolerance towards one another for the sake of public welfare. The panel also expressed disappointment with the government's disregard for court orders, particularly highlighting the federal government's failure to comply with the Economic Community of West African States, that's ECOWAS, court ruling that awarded compensation to victims of October 2020 EndSARS protests. More than 9 months have passed since the judgment, yet the victims remain uncompensated. The federal government should uphold not only the rulings of domestic courts, but also decisions from international judicial bodies, as mandated by various treaties. The panel recommended additionally it urged citizens to become more proactive in holding both judiciary and even government agencies accountable. The panel called on the media to take a bold, factual and impartial approach in investigating and reporting on the judiciary's role in promoting democratic principles. It stressed the importance of a free and responsible press in maintaining judicial accountability. Other notable members of the panel include retired Justice Chinwe Inyezoba and Oludotun Adefunpe Okoji, and of the Court of Appeal, Professor Okechukwu Ibiano, Professor Jumade Adi, Mr. Mark Imoni, Amarere, Barrister Sikap A, Andrew Mamedu, Judith Gbagidi, Barrister Fumi Olukeye, and Celestine Okwodele. The IJAP was established as part of an expanded project initiated by Action in Nigeria and the citizens-led engagement on judicial accountability in post-election justice delivery in Nigeria, which is CLEB Justice. Since July 2023, the project has evolved to support citizens' efforts in promoting judicial accountability beyond electoral matters. Andrew Mamedo, Country Director of Action Aid Nigeria, reiterated that the initiative seeks to foster civic engagement in holding judiciary accountable while promoting justice and fairness within the democratic framework. My colleague is in the house. What's your take? Now, this is coming from a panel that has been constituted to look into this fairly. And they said something unique, which I picked too. Lengthy judgment and ambiguity in it all, such that at the end of the day, nothing has really been said, but yet everything has been concluded. What's your take on even what they mentioned about the fact that they took on a matter that was an appeal that was not brought before it, but yet concluded it?
All right, thank you so much. Well, I must say that Supreme Court, though it is the highest court of the land, we all know that someone say that if you are not okay with Supreme Court judgment, that you should go and appeal to God. As much as that is true, but then one of the things that the judiciary have as, one of the things that it has, which has kept it afloat, is the trust that the people have on its ruling, the trust that they have built over the years. And that trust that they have built over the years is traceable to the consistencies in their judgment. Now, one of the things that this guy made mention of is the fact that the issue of defection of the 27 lawmakers was never been dealt with. It was still in the appeal, yet to come to Supreme Court. But I would say, if I'm asked to say anything about that Supreme Court judgment, it was outrightly emotional. How can you judge a man based on what you know nothing of? You said that it was the fear of defection, it's the fear of impeachment that made him to break down the court, that's the House of Assembly complex, and that it is on that basis that the 27 lawmakers defected. Why should you? That is quite emotional. Why should you be defending them?
Are you now their lawyer?
Those guys, we saw everything, how it all played out. They decided to defect, and even the president was excited about it.
So they have decided to move.
He says since they have crossed the Red Sea, they cannot return again. But in our very eyes, we saw them returning back, and the court feel it was very just. I must say that particular Supreme Court judgment, it has eroded the trust I had in Supreme Court. And virtually most Nigerians seems like, what's going on? No matter what, is it because somebody went and stole you? Next thing you begin to play around that it was because the mother was not feeding him. No, the fact remains that he has stole, and you should deal with the fact. So I love the fact that other people who have occupied that position have decided to come out and they have spoken about it. Let's watch and see if there will be need, or they'll call for a review of that Supreme Court judgment, because it is outrightly, for me personally, I see it as not capturing the main thing. It ended up invalidating everything that was upcoming. Possibly by the time they bring up the issue of perjury before the Supreme Court will also begin to interpret it in another way, that it was because Fubara was the one disturbing them, so they were saying words that they ought not to have said or something. I don't know how it would turn out, but I'm hopeful that that particular issue of perjury will be pushed to even the Supreme Court level. Let us also get to hear what their position will be, if they will also allow the executive to influence them. That's just my position, because already everyone is like, what's going on? We have already seen the pressure that Fubara is going through. Ordinarily, things shouldn't be going this way, but it has ended up that way. Let's see if they progressively take it to them, the issue of what will be their position.
All right, let's see how it plays out. That's good.